Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber CISSP Prepcast. This series helps you prepare for the ISC Squared CISSP exam with focused explanations and practical context. In this episode, we're diving into directory services, focusing on the lightweight Directory Access Protocol, known as 11D, and Microsoft's Active Directory. Both are foundational technologies in identity and access management. They help organizations control who gets access to what and ensure that this access is both secure and efficient. Directory services store, organize, and deliver critical identity information. This includes usernames, passwords, group memberships, device relationships, and access policies. These services play a central role in authentication, authorization, and access control, helping to manage thousands of users, systems, and devices across networks. When directory services are implemented well, they reduce administrative complexity, enhance security visibility, and improve compliance with internal policies and regulatory requirements. But when poorly managed or misconfigured, they can become a single point of failure or a gateway to widespread compromise. Let's begin by understanding LDAP Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. LDAP is a vendor-neutral, open-standard protocol used to query and modify items in directory services. It was designed to provide a simple and consistent way to access directory information over networks. Most directory implementations, including Active Directory, OpenLAP, either support LDAP natively or use it as a foundation. LDAP directories store user credentials, attributes, group relationships, and configuration data. This centralization allows administrators to define policies once and apply them across a broad set of systems and applications. An example of LDAP in action is a web application authenticating a user by querying the directory to verify credentials and retrieve group membership to enforce access rights. LDAP enables this without duplicating identity information across systems. Security is a major concern in LDAP deployments. By default, LDAP transmits data, including credentials, in plain text. To address this, organizations should deploy LDAPs, or LDAP, over secure sockets layer. This encrypts communication between clients and directory servers. Protecting sensitive identity information in transit, proper LDAP management also includes strict access control lists, role separation, and monitoring of directory queries. These controls help prevent unauthorized access, privilege escalation, and directory enumeration by attackers. Now let's shift to Microsoft's Active Directory, one of the most widely deployed directory services in enterprise environments. Active Directory, or AD, provides a centralized platform for managing users, computers, policies, and resources within a Windows domain. AD uses LDAP under the hood as its primary protocol for directory access, but it also integrates with other Microsoft technologies, such as Kerberos for authentication, group policy for configuration enforcement, and DNS for directory service location. Active Directory is organized into domains, trees, and forests. These logical structures allow organizations to manage large, complex networks in a scalable and secure way. Objects in Active Directory, such as users, computers, and printers, are assigned security identifiers and grouped for simplified access management. Administrators can define group policy objects, or GPOs, to enforce security settings, deploy software, and manage configurations across thousands of devices. This makes Active Directory not just a directory service, but a complete platform for centralized control. For more cyber books and professional resources, be sure to check out cyberauthor.me. Securing Active Directory is essential for enterprise security. Because it holds the keys to the kingdom, any compromise of domain controllers or privileged AD accounts can lead to full network takeover. To protect Active Directory, organizations should follow key practices. First, limit domain admin access to only those who absolutely need it. Second, separate administrative accounts from regular user accounts. Third, deploy tiered administration, isolating control of domain controllers from lower-tier systems, and fourth, regularly monitor directory changes, login activity, and privilege escalation events. Let's now focus on how to implement secure directory services in practice. Start by documenting your directory architecture, including how LDAP is used, where directory servers are located, and how authentication is integrated with applications. Always encrypt LDAP traffic using transport layer security. This prevents man-in-the-middle attacks and eavesdropping. Disable anonymous binds and enforce strong authentication for all directory queries. Use access control lists to limit who can read, write, and modify objects in the directory. For example, help desk staff may need to reset passwords, but they shouldn't be able to change group memberships for high-privileged users. Regularly audit directory activity. Look for patterns such as frequent failed logins, privilege changes, or unexpected schema modifications. These can indicate abuse or compromise. Also apply the principle of least privilege to directory administrators. Use role-based access and restrict domain admin accounts to only what is absolutely necessary. Now let's discuss the security controls that support directory service management. First, deploy real-time monitoring and alerting. Directory services are highly sensitive. Any changes should be immediately visible and correlated to approved activity. Second, restrict physical and logical access to directory servers. Domain controllers should be isolated from public-facing networks and hardened against unauthorized access. Third, conduct regular penetration testing and vulnerability scanning against directory infrastructure. Check for unpatched domain controllers, misconfigured LDAP ports, or exploitable delegation settings. Fourth, implement backup and recovery procedures. Directory services are central to operations. Regular, secure backups and tested restoration procedures are critical for business continuity. And finally, train your team. Everyone from the help desk to the CISO should understand the risks and responsibilities associated with directory services. When knowledge is shared, misconfigurations decrease and oversight improves. As part of your exam preparation, be aware of directory attack techniques like LDAP injection, pass-the-hab attacks, Kerberos ticket forgery, and golden ticket attacks. You may see exam questions that describe unusual account activity, and you'll need to identify the threat and apply a mitigation strategy. Now let's turn to the topic of continuous improvement in directory service management. Directory environments are dynamic. Users join and leave, applications integrate and deprecate, and systems evolve. That means directory practices must also evolve. Review your configurations regularly, conduct quarterly audits of administrator roles, GPOs, and domain trust relationships. Ensure old accounts are removed or disabled promptly. Use incident data to identify where directory security broke down or lagged behind. Was a compromised user account able to access more than necessary? Was an attacker able to move laterally using service accounts? These insights should drive updates to your group policies, account provisioning processes, and alerting rules. Partner with human resources, compliance teams, and application owners to ensure that access rights reflect actual job duties and legal obligations. Lastly, don't forget education. Directory service management is not just a technical job, it's a security leadership function. Keep your staff informed, trained, and empowered to protect the organization from within. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal Cyber CISSP Prepcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com.